Hello and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I'm going to do our first month update for our third grade year. So if you are interested to see how it's going for us, stick around. All right, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I am a homeschool mom to a third grader. We love all things books, homeschool, and sharing our journey with you. And if that is something that you're interested in, I would love if you consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. All right, so I said this is our first month, and it is, but you're gonna see that there's like a 3-month span because we actually started in July. So we started right here, the 25th of July, and then we only schooled for about, 9 days before we took a very long road trip. And then we came back and we started schooling again August 22nd. And from here we have been officially we're starting. The first 9 days were very easy, just kind of slowly working our way back in. But honestly, the whole time up until this week has been a very, very slow start. I was very intentional with the things that I brought in and how quickly I brought everything in. And I must say that for us, that was fantastic. It was nice not to just start every single curriculum that we had at once. So before I get too far, if you don't know what planner I'm using, it is the Minimal Homeschool Planner by School Nest, and I love this thing so much. I didn't go ahead and get it bound, and I'm loving it unbound. It's really, really, really working out fantastically. So let's go ahead and go to our first week here. Now, one of my favorite things about this planner is that it's undated. In the past, that might used to have bothered me. However, taking that big long break, I didn't waste any pages in here. So I was just able to come back, and we're starting in August. And so I didn't have those long weeks of no blank pages, and I really, really liked that. So just initially, I just had here that we were going to start slow, and we did. So we only started with dimensions, all about reading, studies weekly, and then we were continuing on with some things that we had carried over from second grade. So I didn't want to start a new grammar workbook right away, and we were already working on our spelling, and we were already doing Draw Right Now. So I just brought those things into the school year for that first week in July, because like I said, not our first week of July, the last week of July. So as I mentioned before, I knew I had about 9 days of school before we had this big thing. But at the same time, I was like, why waste these days? We're here, let's do them. So let's do them slowly and gently, and we loved it. So here is our very first week, and you can see we did a lot of stuff, but it was things that, one, we were already doing quite a few of them. So spelling, Draw Right Now, our grammar book, we were already doing. All About Reading, she absolutely loves, so we definitely started that. And I was really, really excited to get into dimensions, so we started that. But we did a 5-day week here, but it was a really easy week and lots of games, lots of reading, and just easier step into. Sometimes I use this page pretty well. Other times I don't so much. I just wanted to make a quick note here that when we got back, she would have an out school camp. So here we are kind of finishing out that first few weeks of third grade. And again, we were very gentle on the things that we were approaching. I wasn't bringing in a ton of new stuff. We were working with some of the things from our summer knowledge crate, and we had pulled out just a few poetry things and just different readers. Here, I didn't waste any paper. Well, I guess this is kind of a waste. Honestly, I meant to come back and put some pictures or some memories about vacation, because this is we're back from vacation this week. but it's just been busy and I haven't got that done. But it could be that come this winter, I'll have some time to add to it. Here, I just made a personal note that I needed to declutter some stuff. All right, so here we are. We are officially back and ready to rock and roll again. But as anybody knows, when you first get back from a trip, things are a little bit wonky, and so we didn't have a super heavy week, and I still am not introducing a whole lot at this point. You'll see that we weren't doing science really. We weren't really doing history. We were doing reading and math. That was our priorities, and our spelling was a priority. We did do handwriting most every day, and then she did have her coding class. Here you can see a very gentle approach into our start of this year. Then it was like things just kind of, the ball of yarn started unwinding. There was something that came up this day, so I didn't get to do as much as I would generally have done. And then we didn't do school at all this day. And you can see that we're still not bringing a whole lot of history or science in because I wanted to get a good rhythm going before I brought a bunch of stuff in. If I can't get a good rhythm going with these few things, I'm not going to get a good rhythm going by adding 3 or 4 more things. And that was something gracious that I did for myself, and I think that she benefited from that also. Here we were kind of having this wild week of, well, this isn't really going very smoothly. And then here we see it again where, well, we had Labor Day. And then I can't honestly even remember what happened here. And then Thursdays are always a slightly shorter day. And so again, we were not doing much of a 5-day schedule for the first few weeks. But that's okay. We were doing the major things that I wanted. Reading, math, we're getting those done. You can see that I am starting to introduce science now, which is our earth science by classical science, and we are really liking that. Now, let's go on to our next week where things are, I think, about to start looking better. Yes, they are. So I have this Evan Moore poem book, and I had went through at the beginning of the year and looked to see if there was anything like seasonal related or, for instance, these pumpkins. I'm going to bring that out in October. And otherwise, I just choose one to do maybe once a week or every other week. And that is just things that I had put over here that I would like to do that poem sometime this week, and then I wanted to finish up our summer knowledge crate because I knew we would be getting that fall one anytime. Here you can see we're starting to get a little bit of a bigger schedule, and we're sticking with it a little bit better on our days because things haven't been coming up as much. We are loving the strewing, so I'm trying to have something on the table for her every single morning. We have also started reading out of the Blue Fairy book, so I just go in here and I just am kind of picking some that we like, whether that be they are in order or they're out of order, and then I just kind of do a little check mark. I also ended up using What Your Third Grader Needs to Know for some of the reading because I like these stories, and you can see here at the beginning that there's quite a few poetry and stories, and so again I'm just putting a little check mark there after I have read those. So I'm trying to add in one of those every other day, and this time we had read the Alice in Wonderland, and then we had started Aladdin, and it was a little bit of a longer one because the Blue Fairy book actually is the complete unabridged version of it. So there are actually quite a few lengthy stories within this blue book. Something else we also started this week was Story of the World. I felt that we were kind of in our groove good enough that I could go ahead and introduce this as well. We're not reading too often, but I did read 2 times this week. Now we are into this week. So again, there was a day that kind of surprised us. We ended up having a play date. So this day got taken out. We just did reading that day, so we didn't actually school that day. And this is everything that we have planned for today. So I love that I had a really slow start into the year. This week we actually started our writing and rhetoric, which you can see right here. I'm really, really liking this so far. I want to use it for a week or two before I do another video on it, but I will definitely be doing an updated video on this after we've used it for a week or two. But I like it. I like it a lot. Something else that we're really liking a lot is word a day. It's really easy. It's super quick. You open up your book. We go over the word. We go that it's a noun. I say this. I say this. I ask her these questions. And we're done. It's super, super easy and quick and just a nice way to add in some vocabulary. Dimensions is going extremely well. We are on average doing this 4 times a week, and that is my ideal schedule with this, is that I want to do this 4 days a week and Beast Academy 1 time a week. All About Reading is going fantastic. Here's the little reader for that. She loves this, and so I'm really taking this slow because this is the last level. So we actually aren't even doing All About Reading this week because we're just doing an assigned reader. You may notice that I have assigned reading. She ended up starting this series, which I picked up from the Book Outlet. I'll put that link right here. I got some really nice book series with that one. But she is on book 2, The Dark Sorceress. She really, really likes this. It's not color, which she usually prefers color, but there is a picture on every single page. So that is what we have been doing for reading. Sometimes she will just have a set amount of time that she reads. Other times she will sit with me and read. So that is another plan of mine, is that I'm planning to have like maybe 1 week of assigned reading, 1 week of maybe doing 2 lessons of this, and then assigned reading the rest of the day. Because like I said, I'm trying to spread this out as far as I can so that she gets it as long as she can. Quickly, let's look here. This is Studies Weekly. The first week we did the whole newspaper thing where we went through and we did the newspaper. Well, then we got online and we were looking at the online version. We really, really liked that, and then they ended up doing this huge transition the next week. So it took us a little bit to kind of get accustomed to the change that we had just learned. We really haven't been doing the newspaper so much. I just have it in here as a reminder. What I've been doing is when I am needing to work and I have her on Monday and Wednesday doing some independent work, she's doing Studies Weekly during that time. So usually Monday and Wednesdays are going to have at least a chunk of time that she is doing independent work. That may include Beast Academy, typing, Studies Weekly online, and then that is definitely time that she would be sitting down and independently reading to herself. One more thing I want to mention about this set of books is that it has this little QR code inside, so it could actually read to them and they could follow along with it, which is pretty neat. We haven't done that. We did look it up to see for sure how to pronounce the town, and so, which was really, really helpful. But that is another really neat thing about this set of books that I got. And like I said, I'll put the link down below so you can go and see what other ones I picked up. But she's planning to read through this set right now, and then next week. I don't really have too much wrote down on this. Well, nothing at all actually wrote down on that, but I have went ahead and put that, my Monday and Wednesdays reminder to do the Studies Weekly. We have one more craft from our summer knowledge crate that I also want to get done. I have added a little note here at the front of my planner. That way, if I'm ever like, what do I think I want to do? And these are just things that I've been contemplating on, how often I want to do certain things, and just keeping it fresh and not overwhelming. But so far, it's going really well. It's had some wonky weeks of where we may have only schooled 2 or 3 days out of the week when I had planned on 5. But that's fine. I know this winter we're going to have no problem catching up on any days that we might need to be doing. But honestly, I don't feel like we're off schedule too much. We're doing really quite well, considering we took a very long extended road trip here in August. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. And thanks for spending some time with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.